to Season 2, Episode 93 of One Man's Opinion. Today I am reviewing TheaterWorks Hartford's production of Jessica Dickey's The Rembrandt, directed by Maria Mileaf and running at the TheaterWorks Hartford's Theater at 233 Pearl Street in Hartford, Connecticut. The Rembrandt is a funny and often touching play, taking place over 4 scenes that travel back and forth through time. The play starts in the modern day at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. It's morning, and the museum is just about to open, and Henry, played by Michael Chenevert, is a security guard admiring the Rembrandt painting Aristotle with a bust of Homer. He is quickly interrupted by Jonny, played by Brandon Espinoza, another security guard, but a different kind of security guard, as he is armed. Among the things they discuss is Henry's husband, Simon, played by Buell, who is terminally dying from cancer. Also joining the scene are Madeline, played by Amber Reauchean Williams, and Dodger, played by Ephraim Birney. Madeline is a copy artist who has been given permission to do a reproduction of Aristotle with a bust of Homer. Dodger is also a security guard of the same class as Henry, who is starting his first day. Dickey's dialogue has some delightful witty exchanges, as Dodger, who considers himself an anti-establishment graffiti artist, encourages Madeline to physically touch the Rembrandt. Tension, as well as humor, escalates as Henry returns to the scene, as well as Jonny. What also develops is the play's theme of finding peace in the midst of impending death, as Henry, Dodger, and Madeline all find their own connections to the piece and consider the possibility of touching the painting. The play jumps scenes into the past to about 1653 to the actual Rembrandt, played by Chenevert, who is starting work on Aristotle with a bust of Homer. Reaching his later years, his health is waning and begins to discuss his mortality with his lover Hendrik Stoffel, or Henny, played by Reauchean Williams, and then his son Titus, played by Birney. The third scene jumps even further back in time to 8th century BC to Homer, who is philosophically debating with himself mortality and the legacy of his life, even beginning to question whether he is even alive or dead. The play then jumps forward to the aftermath of the first scene. Henry has returned home and is with his husband Simon, and the two discuss Simon's impending death. What is great about the Rembrandt is Dickey's balance of humor with the macabre nature of death. Though the addressing of death weighs heavily, especially on Henry and then later Titus and Homer, there is an awareness in the text that is wisely grasped by Mileaf and the cast to find the humor in death, and how we as emotional beings compensate our grief and fear through humor. A solid ensemble piece, the cast are all great. Chenevert has the most to work with textually speaking, as his character has the most development, and he excellently leads the cast throughout. If there's a problem with the play, it's that though I love the philosophical level of the play, and its smartly writing of life, death, and the humor found within, aside from Henry, there isn't much in regards of journey for the other characters. They are mostly there as tools to help Henry find his way. Even Rembrandt and Homer are less there for themselves, as they are kind of supernatural voices for Henry. There's nothing textual that indicates this, but more of my interpretation of why we have these jumps back into the past, like a psychic connection being made between Henry, the painter, and the subject. It's not too much of a problem, as this is ultimately Henry's story. The design is mostly simple and sleek. I mostly like Neil Patel's set design. I initially felt that people sitting house left and right may have some problems due to obstructed views of the upstage portions of the museum gallery, but Mileaf stages the play with all the action happening downstage enough that the obstructions never become an issue. There's a real nice beat by the projection designer Camilla Tassi in the scene change from scene 1 to scene 2, as the painting we've been hearing the characters talk about for a solid 20 minutes is projected onto a canvas as we transition into the next scene. It's a beautiful touch as we see Rembrandt's finished results as we move forward into the scene where he begins to actually work on the painting. The Rembrandt is a fairly simple piece, but its impact shouldn't be discounted, as it has an emotional heart and depth that is both funny and sentimental. My apologies for this review sounding a little weird. I am severely congested, but gotta get this out, right? Anyway, I am only one man's opinion, so be sure to leave yours in the comments below. If you'd like to see the Rembrandt, I'll leave a link in the description where you can get tickets. You can support my channel by becoming a patron on my Patreon page. I'll leave a link in the description for that as well. You can also support my channel by liking, sharing, and subscribing, and click the notification bell to be alerted to future reviews. My next review will be Anthony Rapp's off-Broadway one-man show, Without You. Thank you for watching, and I will see you at the theater.